This conference will now be recorded.
So we'll be starting the session in 2 minutes, waiting others to join. Okay, we will be starting the class. So today we are going to discuss about logistic regression. So even though it is named as regression, this is used for the classification. So it is the fundamental classification algorithm. So for classification, this is the first the basic algorithm that we have to study for the classification problems. So one of the application of this classification is handwritten character recognition. We will be doing this example also in in, in the coming classes. So if a letter is written in in a small image, a grayscale image, so that can be identified with the letter. We will be seeing the number of digits, not the letters. We will be seeing an example of number of digits that are written with freehand that can be classified. We will be having 10 classes starting from 0 to 9, and 10 classes will be there, and we will be classifying all the 10 numbers. Okay. So now, so logistic regression is a fundamental classification technique. It is also belongs to the linear classifiers. Linear because we will be using a decision surface which is linear, that we're going to see short. Inherently, it is a binary classification. That means naturally it is a binary classification. That means it will have one output. You will have several inputs, x1, x2 up to xk. Just like linear regression, you will have the xk number of inputs, but output will be 1. For example, y output is y. So y will be either 0 or 1. So that means the output of the regression, one output can give 0 or 1. So if you are having multiple classes, then you have to increase the number of outputs. Even though you are increasing the number of outputs, each will be giving 0 or 1. Each output will be giving 0 or 1 only. So in the linear regression, you can have the continuous values for the y, starting from minus infinity to the plus infinity. But in in this logistic regression, a y will be either 0 or 1 only. Okay, so if it is multi-class, sometimes you will assign discrete values, but that is a manipulated one, manipulating this binary classification into multi-class. For example, 3 classes are there, 3 outputs we will take, y1, y2, 3 classes are there, y3. So then what we will do is we will assign 1 for this one, 0, 0 for 3 classes, class 1. Similarly, class 2, 0, 1, 0, and class 3, 0, 0, 1, like that. Or sometimes you can take y is equal to 1 to 9, such that. But basically it will have, it belongs to class 1. We will take when x1 is 1, we will give the output as 1. So when you get this kind of output, you will give output as 2. Okay, so we will be manipulating binary classification as a multi-class problems. Okay, it is not inherently for the multi-class, it is only for binary class, but you can do multi-class by manipulating this one, that we see in the coming shortly. So now let us see the basics of this one. So it uses a function called logistic function. That's why it is called logistic regression. Okay, in the linear regression, you have W transpose X equal to Y. But here Y is a function of logistic function. So previously Y is directly the linear combination, but here Y is a logistic regression, logistic function of W transpose X. See for the example this equation. So this is the expression for the logistic function. See carefully, 1 by x plus exponential. This exponential means e power minus x. We are getting, it is function that e is the natural algorithm value. We know what is e. So in natural algorithm, you will take log e to base e. So that e, natural algorithms you use e, that will be the e. Okay, it is e power minus x, 1 by 1 plus e power minus x. So this function you will utilize in this one. So output will be this kind of value. So this one is, suppose x is equal to 0. For example, you put x is equal to 0. What will happen? What is the value of the function? If x is 0, what is the value of the function? You can type in the chart. If x is equal to 0, 1 by 1 plus e power 0. X is 0. So for x giving this 0, so e power 0 is 1. So 1 by 1 plus 1. So when x is equal to 0, 1 by 1 plus 1, that is equal to 1 by 2. So that means you will get 0.5. So for this function, when x is equal to 0, but for the sigma x, when x is equal to 0, it will be 0.5. So this is called the indecision or verge of the decision. It is the limit of decision. So 0.5 means we cannot say whether output is 1 or 0. So it is, you cannot say when it belongs to which class when it is 0.5. Okay. So as the x increases from the 0, suppose you are at the 10, x is equal to 10, then it will be 1 plus e power minus 10, sorry, minus 10. So then what will happen is this value will be 1 by e power 10. So 1 by e power 10 will be slightly large value. So this may be something like 0.1 or like that. So then what happens is this value will be near to 1. So when x is equal to 10, this value will be near to 1. Okay. Similarly, when x is equal to minus 10, this will be e power plus 10. So it will be equal to 0. So 1 by 1 plus e power 10. So that this e power 10 will be very large value. So it will result in a x1 will be insignificant as compared to e power 10. So 1 by large value will be near to 0. So that means x can vary from minus infinity to plus infinity. You can vary the x from minus infinity to plus infinity. So when it is plus infinity, the output will be 1 because 1 by 1 plus e power 1 by e power infinity. When you substitute x is equal to infinity, 1 by e power infinity. So e power infinity is also infinity. So 1 by infinity will be 0. So at the plus infinity, y will be 1. That means what does this mean is when x is large, the output is going to be 1. When the x is large, the output is going to be 1. Okay. When minus infinity, the y will be going to the 0. So y will vary only from between 1 to 0. Whereas in linear regression, y can be any value from minus infinity infinity. But in this one, the y can be only the values from 1 to 0. So it can have any values between 1 and 0. So if it is 1, you can call it as class 1. When it is 0, we can call it as class 2. Okay. When it is 1, we call it as class 1. When it is 0, we call it as class 2. That's how it will be represented as a binary classification. So if you are having only two classes, please switch off, mute your mic. Okay. So this is how it will be representing binary class. If there are only two classes, one output is enough. So that output is equal to 1 means it will represent class 1. If that output is 0, it represents output as class 2. Okay. So let us see how this is used in this one. The output will use the logistic function. So this is about the logistic function. So remember, when it is 0, the output is 0.5. When it is plus infinity, output is 1. When it is minus infinity, output is 0. These 3 points are important. Okay, when x is 0, 0.5. When x is large, 1. When x is negative large, it will be 0. Okay. So normally we will take the threshold as the 0.5. That means if we got output is equal to something like 0.7, then we will consider it as, because threshold is 0.5, 0.7 is greater than 0.5. So we will treat that output as 1. So it will be something like a probability. So whatever value that gets more than 0.5, we consider it as class 1. Whichever values which come less than 0.5, we consider it as class 0. Okay. So now we will see the hypothesis function that is used in this one. So this is the hypothesis function. So here also you will have the parameters and the inputs. The inputs x is the input. X is the input. X is input. So some n number of inputs. Okay. So here you have input 1, x1, x2. It is a k dimensional. You can have a single variable x1 or you can have two variables x2. So like that you are having k number of, just like linear regression, you are having k number of variables. So initially you have to keep one so that intercept is there. So and this vector is the weights corresponding to each input. You will have a coefficient. First one is 1. For the same regions that we have taken in the linear regression, here also we will take the 1. This will be always 1. So W1 will be multiplied with X1. So W transpose X is product of two matrix. W transpose is column matrix, sorry, row matrix, and X is column matrix. So W transpose X means W naught into 1 plus W1 into X1 plus W2 into X2 plus W3 into X3, like that. Up goes up to Wk into Xk, K into Xk. If it is single variable, you will have only this portion, W naught plus W1 into Xn. If it is three inputs, then this will be the equation you will take, W naught X1 plus if it is two dimensional, you will take only W naught plus W1 X1 plus W2 X2. Depending on the number of inputs you will take. For two inputs, it is W naught plus W1 into X1 plus W2 into X2. So this value will be given here, W transpose into X. So previously we have seen as sigma. So in this place of sigma, you will have H, and in the place of X, you will have the W transpose X. So this in place of X, you will be having minus W transpose X. So this will be a single value because we are multiplying 1 cross n. Suppose you are multiplying 1 cross K and K cross 1. So ultimately you will get a single value. Okay. So it will be a single scalar value that will be given to this one. So if you are having n number of inputs, suppose x1 is age, x2 is income, something like that, any feature, okay, different features. So then depending on the values of W1 and W2, so by using training you have to find the W0 and all the coefficients. Suppose you're assuming some weight values are the coefficients, that coefficients will give this y. So y is given by this expression. This is the output. Y is the output and it depends on W and X. For some values of W and X, it will be some value. So the important thing to note here is, for example, this W transpose X, that means the product of these coefficients and the inputs is equal to 0. For example, assume that this product, that is W transpose X, is equal to the 0. Then what will happen? What is the value of Y? When W transpose X is 0, what is the value of Y? It will be 0.5. So when it is 0.5, we are unable to tell whether it is belongs to class 1 or class 0, because when y is equal to 1 only, near to 1 only, you can tell it is class 1. When it is near to 0, we can tell it is a class 0. But if it is 0.5, that means when this product W transpose X is equal to 0, then output value is 0.5. So this is called indecision or boundary. We can call it as indecision or a boundary. So that is the boundary between two classes. We call it as boundary, or sometimes also called, so in correct terminology, it is decision boundary. It is decision boundary. Decision boundary. Why it is called decision boundary? Because suppose this one is less than 0, what will happen? If this product W transpose X is less than 0, then this e power term will be positive and it will be less than 0.5. The Y will be less than 0.5. Are you getting? When this W transpose X is equal to 0, we are getting output as 0.5. But when it is less than 0, we are getting output as less than 0.5. When it is greater than 0, it is positive number. This is 1 by e power positive number. So it will be greater than 0.5. Something like that. That means when less than 0, we are getting less or more than 0.5. When it is greater than 0, you are going above. So if you plot it in a two-dimensional, for example, this is x1, this is x1, and this is x2. Okay. So if there are two variables, then what is the W transpose X? 1 plus, sorry, W naught plus W1 into X1 plus W2 into X2. Suppose it is equal to 0. So what is this one will represent in two-dimensional? It is similar to straight line equation. For example, AX, you will be studied in intermediate maths that AX plus BY plus C equal to 0. This is a straight line equation. That means it will be something like this. So this will be the straight line. So this line is called the decision boundary because it is 0. So any point on this line will give a value 0. So when x1 is this much and x2 is this much, that point lies here, and any point on this line will give this equation as 0, so output as 0.5. So any point on this one will have y is equal to 0.5. We cannot say whether it is class 1 or class 2. Suppose a point is on this side. Okay, point is on one. Suppose this is the line. The point is on one side. One point is on this side. One point is on this side. So what will happen is when the point is on one side of this one, what will happen is W1 plus W1x plus W2, one side it will be less than 0, one side it will be greater than 0. Are you getting? One side it will be, that means the product W transpose X will be less than 0 on one side. On one side W transpose X will be greater than 0. That means this line is dividing the space of x1, x2 into class 1 and class 2. So this comes under class 1, 1 comes under class 2. So all the points on one side of the line will be class 1 and points on the other side will be class 2. So this concept is utilized in the logistic regression. So that means when you have some inputs x1, x2, x3, if it is giving one side of the line, you will get y is equal to 1. If it is on another side, you will get y is equal to 0. Okay. So this can be utilized in classifying patterns. Suppose for example, so you have the two features x1 and x2. So all these circles are on one side of the line. So for them the y is equal to 0. So some are in this line, so that will be equal to 1. Okay. So this is the decision boundary. line is the decision boundary, and these are all class 1, these are all class 2. So you will be having a table 1 x1 x2. Suppose this is 1, this is 1.5. You have the data like this. Data is x1 is 1, x2 is 1, and you have y as 1. Okay, you have several such data 1, 2, 3. It belongs to class 1. Suppose 1, 2, 1. It belongs to class 0. Okay, 3 points are there. So this is the point 1. This is point 2. Just like linear regression. In linear regression, you have the x1, x2, and you have here y value. Here y value will be either 1 or 0. So these two belongs to class 1. This belongs to class 2. So what ultimately you have to do is, so now you have to classify this data. That means you have to create a model. You have to create a model when you give x1 and x2. So now our job is to create a model which using logistic regression. This model is logistic regression. Okay, this model is logistic regression, and you have the binary class, 2 outputs. This is y. So you have to find a model. This is the model. So what model consists of? It consists of a hypothesis function, this one. It consists of h of wx is equal to y. You have the x, you have the y. Only thing unknown is w. So you have the x values, that is input. You have the y value, that is 0 or 1. So what is unknown is w. So for this data, if you want to generate a model which can classify this one, what you have to do is you have to find the w's such that these 2 points lie on one side of the decision boundary. These 2 lines will be found on the decision line. So for example, so you have to calculate the values of w1 and w0, w1 and w2. So that is the training algorithm. That is the logistic algorithm. So logistic algorithm, for the given data, it will find w0 and all the coefficients, so that it is dividing the 2 classes. So now you have a, suppose, some points. So first 2 points are here, for example. Second 2 points, third point is here. I have, so this point is this one. Okay, and second point is this one, and third point is this cross line. So first 2 points are circles, the third point is cross. So these two belong to class 1, that is I should get y is equal to 1, and this cross I should get y is equal to 0. So I will randomly, so that means now I have to find a line such that these two are separated. Finding line means you have to find the coefficients. So you have to find the coefficients such that the line represented by that coefficients and the inputs are separating these lines into 2 parts. Suppose I find a line like this. I have found some w0, w1, w2, and it should be like this. Suppose the line is here, it cannot classify. Suppose the line is this one, it cannot be a boundary decision because all are on one side. So they will give only one, or either they will give one or they will give 0. But if I find a line like this, these two are on one side and this is on other side. So these two will give 0 or 1. If it is gives 1, this one will give 0. If this is giving 1, these two will give 0. So this is the concept of logistic regression. So you have to find a decision boundary such that all the points belonging to the class 1 are on one side, and all the points that are belonging to class 0 are on the another side. So ultimately what you have to decide is, you have to find is this straight line, because in 2-dimensional it is a straight line. Suppose 3-dimensional, W0 plus W1, W2, W3, then you have to find a plane separating all the points into one side. So all the points will be on one side of the plane. One class, all the points belonging to class 1 will be on the one side of the plane, and all the points which are belonging to the class 2 may be on the other side. So like that you have to find. So if you are having k dimensions, so you have to find such that W transpose X is equal to greater than 0 for the points which belong to class 1, and another class 2 less than 0. So ultimately what you have to do is, for the given points, you have to find either the values of the W such that this is separating the two classes in the geometry. Is it so this is the concept. If you have any doubts, you can post in the chat. Are you getting? In two-dimensional, this is the situation. Okay, so I'm getting no response in the chat, so I think it's understood. Okay, now, so let us go to the how to find this line. So we have said that if you find a line separating these two, that will be classified. But how to find this line? That means how to find these coefficients from the given XY data. So that is the training algorithm that you have to do. So here also, just like linear regression, we have to do the cost function. You have to take a cost function and you have to minimize that cost function so that it is 0, okay, or minimum. If not 0, at least it should be minimum. Okay, so in this case, so now question is, what should be the cost function? In the linear regression, we have used the cost function as least squares. That means mean square error. So we have used the mean square error, which is like sum of y actual minus y predicted, or y minus h of x, where h of x is a linear equation. So in the linear regression, we have find the difference and squared and summed. So unfortunately, we cannot use this function in this regression value. When you are using for the classification, the cost function or the minimization function used in the regression cannot be used for the classification. Okay, so for all the regressions problems, you can use the mean square error, but for the classification, this function is not useful. That is because the y is taking discrete values. It will be either 1 or 0, whether it is y or 0 or 1. So what happens is, sorry, so if because y is 0 or 1, what happens is, because of these discrete values, if you take the MSC values, the function, the cost function with respect to parameters, that is weights or coefficients, if you plot cost versus coefficients, it will be something like this. So whereas in the case of linear regression, the cost function will be like this. If you take the linear regression, because their hypothesis function is different, here hypothesis function is non-linear. You are taking logistic function as the hypothesis function. So these parameters will not give this kind of line. So for this one only, for MSC in the regression, you have only one value, that is minimum. But here all you are having local minimums and the global minimum. So at this point also slope is 0. So this is called local minimum. This is called local minimum, and this is global minimum. So there is no guarantee that if you are using MSC or the least squares cost function, you may be stuck at the local minimum. the algorithm may stop here, because here also the derivative is 0 or the slope is 0. But in this case, if you use this kind of cost function here, the slope will be finite. Only at the minimum point it will be 0. At all the remaining places it will not be 0. But in this case there may be so many minimums. This is minimum, so here this is also minimum. These are all local minimums, but ultimately we have to find the global minimum. So the problem with MSE cost function is we may be struck at the local minimums, which is not the optimal solution. It is having more number of optimum values instead of one. Okay, so to make the cost function just similar to this one, this is called convex. This kind of cost function, we call it as convex function, and this is called non-convex. So if you have only one global minimum, we call it that is convex function, and this is non-convex. So if we use the MSE mean square error, that becomes non-convex. So we have to select a cost function such that the cost relation between cost and the parameters is a convex function. So such kind of function is called likelihood function. So here you will take another type of classification function. Okay, we will be taking another kind of classification cost value. So this is the cost function in this classification. So this is the cost function that you will take. So you are having n number of input, what you call examples. So yi is the output of the particular sample. So you have xi is one of the sample, and yi is, if xi is the input, the output is yi. So here h is the logistic function. Are you getting? Here h is the logistic function. For example, log h means, so log h will be like this one, this curve, and log 1 minus h is like this curve. So we'll be taking logarithm of the hypothesis function. In the linear regression, we have used the direct linear hypothesis function, but here you are taking non-linear, that is logistic. So this term log h will be something like this, and log 1 minus h will be this one. So we are adding both, you will get a cost function like this. This is called the convex cost function. So if you use this equation, this is giving a convex cost function with respect to the parameters that are w0, w1 and w2. Suppose you're having one parameter w, the cost will be something like this. So it will be minimum here. So you will have only no local minimums, only you will have the global minimum. Okay, so this is the cost function. So that means suppose y is equal to 0, what will happen to this cost function? Suppose for some input of numerical values, you got y is equal to 0. So this yi will be 0. So this term is going to be 0, because yi is 0, this term is 0. So what happens here? 1 minus 0, it will be 1. But what about this function? So this is 0. So it will be log 1 minus 0, log 1 will be 0. So like this, for y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, this cost function is going to be 0. So when y is equal to 0, it will be 0. For y is equal to 1 also, cost function is going to be 0. So if it is somewhere in between, it will give me some finite value. Okay, if it is in between something like 0.5, it will give some value. Okay, so it is 0 for both y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, depending on the class. Okay, so this is the cost function that we will be taking in this minimization. So if you want to find the w's, you have to solve this equation. So what you have to do, you have to, just like that previous, you will be having different algorithms. So these algorithms will be slightly different from the linear regression, because in linear regression the hypothesis function is linear one, so you are getting a nice solution. But in this case the hypothesis function is a nonlinear one, so you cannot use the linear techniques, you cannot use the ordinary least squares here, because if you differentiate and equate it to the zero, you will not get a linear equation. In the linear regression, when you are finding differentiation of cost function with respect to w, you are getting a nice linear equation. But here, when you even after you differentiate the equation that you get, so if you differentiate j with respect to cost, with respect to parameter, suppose I differentiate dou j by dou w to find the optimum value. So if I equate it to the zero, in the linear regression case, this is a linear equation. So I have solved directly with a nice equation. But here, dou j by dou w will be non-linear function of w. So you cannot use least squares here. You have to use some non-linear techniques. Okay, some other you have to use. So you cannot use the ordinary least square solution for this one. So you will be getting this equation in terms of e power w, something like that. So you have to use other techniques to find the w. Okay, so that algorithm will be the optimization algorithm. So you differentiate this equation and equate it to the zero, and this has to be solved. Dou j by dou w has to be solved. So for that one, there are different methods in the Python. So Python is following 4 or 5 methods. Okay, so if you want to find the weights, you differentiate j with respect to the w, equate it to the zero. So at this point slope is zero, so dou j by dou w will be zero here, and at this point you have to find w. Solve this equation and find the w. That w will be the optimum value. Okay, that will be the solution. So that cost is zero. That means either y will be 0 or 1 at that point. Okay, so this is how you define the cost function. Okay, so suppose you have found some weights, you have found that the weight by using optimizing the cost function, and you have got some weights. So if you want to find or check for testing for training, you have to check whether it is properly trained or not. You have to predict the values. So you will be separating into training and testing data. So you will train on train data and you will test on the test data. So once you have got the weights in the training algorithm, what you have to do is you have to substitute it in the h of x. So you have got some weights w. You want to check whether the training algorithm is correct or not. Okay, you will be using some training algorithm or the optimization algorithm, and you have find the weights w star. So what you will do is, you know that y is equal to h of x according to the hypothesis function h of x, which is logistic function, something like 1 by 1 plus e power minus w transpose x. Okay, so you have find weights. So now substitute these weights in this one and you will get the y. Okay, suppose you have some input xi, substitute that xi in that 1 by 1 plus e power transpose x, and suppose you got y is equal to 0.8. So what you have to do is, suppose you got instead of 1, if you have got 0.8, you have to specify the threshold. The threshold is taken as normal by default. Threshold is taken as 0.5. So since y is greater than 0.5, I can assume y is equal to 1. So whichever is less than 0.5, I will take it as 0. Okay, this is how you will simulate see the response. So just like that linear regression, you have some error. In this case also, you will be having some errors. So here error means y can take only two values. Y can take only two values, 0 or 1. Suppose for some xi, For some x, you have to get y is equal to 0. So if error is there, what will happen is instead of 0, you will get the 1. Instead of 0, you will get the 1. This is an error. So where you have to get the 0, you are getting a 1. That is the classification error. See, remember the error in regression is different from error in classification. So in this one, you will be calculating the number of misclassifications that will give to the error, misclassifications. That means for an input, if you have to get the 0, if you are getting 1, that will be a 1 classification error. And similarly, for some x, if you have to get the 1, but after training you are getting 0, that is also classification error. So in the place where you have to get the 0, you are getting 1, and in the place where you have to get the 1 and you are getting 0, that is error. Suppose you are having n samples, n number of training set. You have a training set of n examples. So out of n, suppose you are getting 2 errors, maybe positive error or negative error. You are getting 0 instead of 0, 1 for 0 instead of 0 for 1. You suppose you are getting a 20 such misclassifications. So then accuracy is n minus 20 by n. So this is called the accuracy in the case of classification. So this is how you will calculate the accuracy. Are you getting that? This is how you will calculate the accuracy. Suppose n is 100, 100 minus 20, 100 samples you have. Out of that you got 20 wrong classifications. So 100 minus 20 by 100. How much it is? 80 by 100. That is 80 by 100. So if you convert it into the percentage, it will be 80%. So that is how you will calculate the accuracy. So if all the classes are correctly classified, you will get the 100% accuracy. 100% accuracy means where you are expecting 0, you are getting 0. Where you are expecting 1, you are getting 1. That is the accuracy. Okay. So this is about the logistic regression. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. So do you have any doubts?
If you have any doubts, please let us know. Okay. So you learned logistic regression today. Okay. So you have learned about mathematical background behind this algorithm. Okay. So you have learned about sigmoid function. Okay. What is sigmoid function and all. So you can ask if you have any doubts in this. Okay. Aparanji, Praneet, Preetham, Sai Kiran, Santosh, Surya Rao, Teju. Yeah. No questions. Okay.
So with this, we will conclude the session.
Okay. So all of you, so we'll be concluding the session. Okay. So because on Monday I think we'll be seeing the programming, right, sir? Is that correct, Satish
So
sir?
Monday we will see some examples.
Okay, we'll see examples on Monday. Okay. So I hope all of you have tried TF-IDF vectorizer. How many of you have tried TF-IDF vectorizer? Through TF-IDF, how many of you have done movie recommendation system? Please let me know. You can type in the chat. How many of you have tried yesterday's example? Movie recommendation system using count vectorizer as well as using TF-IDF vectorizer. Okay, did okay. So yes, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So all of you are good. So you are doing it. So please go on. Okay, please do it, because now we are learning algorithms. Now it's important to apply all the basics we have learned in Python. Okay, try to apply everything. So if you have any doubts, please let us know. Okay, so and then later on we are going to see about logistic regression on Monday. Tomorrow is holiday. Okay, so tomorrow is Sunday, so we have holiday, so we'll meet on Monday on the same timing. Okay, we will continue with the logistic regression. Okay, after that we will see I think KNN Navy base also. Okay, so remaining algorithms we are going to see in the next classes. Thank you. We'll be ending the session. Thank you all. Thank you, Satish sir.